Hi, I'm Paul Crouse, and I'm one of the co-founders of Restore Health 101. And today we're going to start building our building blocks of why we're doing this, and then be able to introduce you to our infamous Dr. Lauren, who is working with us to bring you some of the most dynamic products ever created in the health and wellness space. The biggest reason why we formed Restore Health 101 is very simple. Back in 2017, I entered the hemp industry, and what I found was amazing because it changed literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people's lives that I was able to provide this product to that we were selling at the time. And one of the things that just blew us away was the dynamics of what illnesses people were having and taking hemp oil, and it was having amazing results. There was also a downside though, and that downside was we figured out over years that the industry was divided into thirds. So a third of the people would take the products that we had and have astronomical results. I was one of those, fortunately. Then there was a third that would take the products and have decent results, but not necessarily what they were taking it for. Maybe they would get better sleep and things of this nature, but if they were having major back issues or major this or major that, they really weren't feeling or seeing the difference there. And then there was that third that really didn't get any effect or benefit whatsoever, no matter what they did. Now, I've only been working with full spectrum hemp oils that have been made water friendly because it's all about bioavailability. So we knew that people were getting the absorption, but why wasn't their bodies using it? And so that began the process in late 2017 of finding out more about the body itself. And that's one of the reasons why we contacted and got involved with Dr. Lauren, is because these questions that we had, there weren't a lot of answers out there. So we had to start looking elsewhere and outside the hemp industry itself. My co-founder partner, Jim Helfer, he actually stumbled upon a study that was life-changing for us, and we believe it's going to be life-changing for millions. Because what this study found is there are other botanicals that, when ingested in the body and made bioavailable, I should say, your body will be primed to fully utilize the amazing hemp oil that we're creating for you. Now, that's going to change dynamics astronomically, because now you're still going to have that third of people that got the amazing results, but the other third that got some results, they're going to get amazing results. And then you've got that other third that felt nothing, they're going to get amazing results. So we know that what we've created for you all is absolutely going to change lives by the countless numbers. But let's talk a little bit about why and how we got here. So as I mentioned, we started in this business really e-commerce, not selling our own products, selling products that were already created. And we found that there's a lot of misinformation out there. And that's what led me to this amazing doc. Her name is Dr. Lauren, and we call her Doc Lauren, and from a perspective of how we here at Restore Health are just a big family. But long and short is this. Doc Lauren and I first met at her father's grocery health store that called Georgetown Market, to give him a nice little plug, here in Indianapolis. But we sat and we were going to talk for 15 minutes, and I think it ended up being close to 3 hours. In the middle of a snowstorm, mind you. It started snowing on the way in. But what was great is I finally found somebody that I could talk to that wasn't trying to blow smoke up my rear end about the hemp industry. We were diving more into holistic and functional medicine in the body, because let's face it, that's where everything starts. I do want to preface before we get into talking with Doc, you'll see this throughout everything that we publish. Here at Restore Health, we're going to be different than every other company out there, because we're not going to sit here and tell you how hemp is going to cure, mitigate, or treat a single disease, because it can't. But what we will talk about, and we're going to talk about this all the time, is how hemp oil, when it's full spectrum, is the most dynamic superfood your body can ingest to fuel your body's internal endocannabinoid system. And when we started talking about endocannabinoid system, that's when Doc Lauren's eyes absolutely lit up. But to kind of preface that, I mentioned that she has really delved deep into holistic medicine and functional medicine. And from our perspective, that's what we love, because unfortunately, most medical doctors out there today are not trained on the endocannabinoid system. As a matter of fact, only 17% of medical schools today are teaching about the most important system in our bodies, because it actually is designed to create balance, or homeostasis for technical terms, and that's how your body heals itself. And so when we started talking, it's just an instant synergy that kind of 3 years later, it's led us to this point. But I wanted to ask you, Doc, so as we get going, what led you to the hemp industry? Because I know that when we first started conversing, it was via email, and then we finally got that live meeting that was going to be 15 to 30 minutes. It turned into 3 hours, but here we are today. As we film this today, we're getting ready to launch what we believe is going to be the most earth-shattering, life-changing product on the planet. What made you get involved with us?
That's a good question. So you mentioned my dad's health food store.
Yes.
So born and raised in an environment with supplement bottles everywhere.
Yeah.
As a kid, I didn't know too much better, but as I got older, started to realize there's a huge difference between quality and not quality. And then once I graduated and started into the business world, realized there's a big difference between people that are doing it right and doing it for not right. Yeah. So the big reason why, one, for the hemp industry is just being able to, hearing all of the stories that people have had and the results people have is huge, and you can't deny it. So that's what kind of initially sparked my interest. My dad was studying it long before it was even cool or popular, along with health foods, long before it was cool or popular.
Right.
And then for this business specifically, just knowing that I'm working with people who actually care about the result and the people and the product is kind of hard to come by. And absolutely. I believe in following a business and being a part of something that's pushing for the right reason.
I love that. I love that. That's exactly what has drawn us together in a very tight fashion, because I know that from our perspective, there's no other way to get into this business, in my opinion, because when we started out on just the e-commerce side, that's all we had was somebody else's product. And so if they told us something that turned out to not be true, that was egg in our face. Well, at this point, now when we put a product out, it's going to have what it says it has in it right on the label, and we're not going to tell you that that product's going to cure, mitigate, or treat a single disease or pain or anything, because it cannot. But what we will guarantee you is this: it will have the most high quality full spectrum hemp oil in the bottle that is available anywhere in the United States. It will also have some of the most dynamic botanicals that will prime your body and let your body utilize that full spectrum hemp oil to fuel your endocannabinoid system, and then the healing can start. But not because of the product, because of the fuel, the superfood, if you will. That's what we're most excited about. Can't wait to start getting all the amazing testimonials through testing phase. It's been really amazing how many people had tried hemp oils in the past, had no results whatsoever, and then bam, tried our product, and off to the races they were with restoring their health. Doc, we're really excited to get going. What you're going to find with Doc Lauren is throughout the course of history, Doc is going to write a lot of blog articles. She'll also be heavily involved in the content that you find throughout our website, but she's here to educate all of us and bring us the most dynamic but most truthful information that's available anywhere. And if the information is not available, you can assure we are going to create the clinical studies to bring you the real facts. Now, there are tons and tons, there's thousands upon thousands of studies that are done out there on cannabis. We're going to be utilizing a lot of that as our technical data because it's already done. But that's what I was saying. If it's not, look for our own clinical studies to be done and published, because at the end of the day, this is not a one-time thing. This is something that you will need for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, our food supply is not supplying it for us any longer, so we're going to create it for you. Thanks so much, and have a great time investigating our site. But most importantly, check out our product and get it into your body.